Welcome to Commander Quickies, the series where we take a specific aspect of Commander and crunch it into a 5-minute, easy-to-watch video. I'm Beezy of the Nitpicking Nerds, and today I'll be offering up a guide on how to play life gain decks. Before we dive into how to pilot these types of decks, we need to first define what life gain means. As you may have guessed, life gain is a style of play that involves increasing your life total to serve an ultimate purpose, usually associated with your win condition. What makes a life gain commander good? Well, for starters, it's probably useful if they can actually gain you life. They can also be used as an outlet to spend life, since you're going to have so much of it. Some commanders can do both. Let's look at a few of the best examples of life gain commanders and figure out what makes them so good. Oloro Ageless Aesthetic. This commander is both the most popular and the most hated of the life gain generals. Eminence is an extremely annoying ability, and your opponents can't stop you from gaining 2 life every turn. Oloro players look to capitalize on cards that trigger every time you gain life, like Well of Lost Dreams and Drogskull Reaver. They usually don't need or want to cast him, but when they do, he grants the small bonus of drawing cards and draining opponents whenever you gain life. The addition of blue makes this a more controlling life gain deck that can look to finish off your opponents via combo or huge X spell. Licia, Sanguine Tribute. Licia can be resilient to commander attacks if you're gaining enough life, so these decks tend to want extra lifelink creatures or extort permanents to ensure casting a 4/4 for 3 that will quickly become a 10/10 by your next turn. More aggressive cards like Archangel of Thune will show up in this deck, along with some rare EDH includes like Font of Agonies. Karlov of the Ghost Council. Affectionately known as Uncle Carl by fans, Karlov cares less about the amount of life you gain and more about how often you gain it. These decks would much rather gain 1 life 5 times with Soul Warden and Soul's Attendant effects than double their own life total. Karlov can easily get out of control, and holding up mana ensures you can wipe the board clean of threats if he is targeted by removal. So what cards do you typically pair with life gain commanders? Through the magic of editing, I can show you some of the strongest cards you can put in the 99 of your life gain deck. Felidar Sovereign and Test of Endurance. If you're playing blue and don't mind instant win effects, I would strongly recommend these two. It'll be tough for your opponents to attack you below the required life total, and if you can protect them for long enough, you just win next turn. Blue allows you to pair them with counterspells and extra turn effects and really cheese your opponents out. We at the Nitpicking Nerds greatly prefer this strategy over the Sanguine Bond / Exquisite Blood combo, which we find to be pretty clunky. Bolas's Citadel, Necropotence, and Timna the Weaver. These seemingly unrelated cards represent some of the better ways to use all that life gain you've accumulated to your advantage. Turning life into cards is one of the strongest things these decks can do. You'll be able to freely go insane with Citadel and cast anything you need, and Necropotence can easily read black, 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 draw 20 cards as well. Timna fits more into the Mardu life gain decks that like to attack with creatures, but she shines in those strategies. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Good old Gary here sees a lot of play in mono black and heavy devotion decks, but he serves more as a quick and efficient way to gain a bunch of life in one turn. He pairs well with Bolas's Citadel and Necropotence, and can be the extra damage you need to string together a kill with the popular win conditions Torment of Hailfire and Debt to the Deathless that see play in most black-white life gain decks. Alhammaret's Archive and Rock's Faithbender. If your deck is interested in getting up into the hundreds, then these are great cards to consider. They will double all your life gain effects, whether they be triggered one at a time or all at once. If a card would double your life total with an effect like these in play,
your life is tripled instead.
Just make sure you can use that to your advantage, or else you'll be a target for combos and commander damage kills. Aetherflux Reservoir. This is the big daddy, the mother of all life sinks. All it takes is 50 life to KO one player. You can try to chain plenty of little spells together for a huge combo kill turn, or go for a huge surge of life with something like Sphinx's Revelation or Beacon of Immortality, and then turn that life into a victory. Save this for when you can kill at least one player, since it makes you a huge target and usually doesn't survive a turn cycle. Krav the Unredeemed and Regna the Redeemer. This couple is a commander option if you want to stick to black and white, however I feel they do a better job in the 99 where they can tutor each other with their partner abilities. Some life gain decks are filled with a lot of small creatures and use Blood Artist and Soul Warden effects, and those decks will want Krav as a sack outlet and maybe even Regna as a token producer. Some decks may only want Krav to use as a sack outlet, and some may only want Regna for her Army in a Can ability. Finally, let's discuss some life gain play patterns. Life gain itself will almost never win games, since going infinite nullifies any life total. On top of that, you only need 21 commander damage to die, no matter what your life is at. Because of this, it's better to use all that life gain to play powerful spells that require a cost of life to be used. Some decks can't afford to constantly pay life for their cards, like Command the Dreadhorde, Erebos God of the Dead, and even cheap spells like Night's Whisper, Snuff Out, and Anguish Unmaking, but your deck allows you to constantly fire these off and pull far ahead. In the end, your life total is a resource, and these decks can spend it like no other. That concludes our guide to life gain decks. We defined life gain, looked at efficient examples of commanders and cards in the 99, and went over useful play patterns. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and catch the next Quickie. Special shoutouts to our 13 patrons who make these videos possible. Peace out, Tribe Scout.